Hey everyone, thank you again for joining another episode of the Liverpool Connection podcast, the Pub Chat. We're at our favorite Irish pub, B.D. Riley's here in Austin, Texas. Just witnessed a 3-0 defeat to Wolves on the road. Depressing times, I'd have to say. I'm joined today with Julian and Jono. And let's just really start because from the lineup, I know, Julian, you disagree with the lineup. I didn't think that there was really another lineup to play except for maybe bringing Phillips in instead of Matip, who hasn't played. I know that you were against the lineup. What about you, Jono?
I thought it was about the best lineup we probably could have. Sorry,
we got some rugby on, Scotland, England, if you hear some excitement in the background, and Jono obviously going for Scotland, so.
No, I didn't have a problem with the lineup. I thought it was about the best we could have, given the availability, the best lineup we could have put out. I was a little surprised, though, that with the front line bringing Núñez in, that he puts Núñez in the middle, given that he just spent the last few games putting Gakpo in the middle, which a lot of people question. But I thought, well, if he wants him to be Firmino replacement or, kind of play that role, which he did pretty well last week, then why, when Núñez is fit, you shift him out to the left and put Núñez in the middle? So that confused me a bit, but the lineup in general I was happy with.
Julian, tell us.
I didn't think it could get any worse than the Brighton performance. I don't think maybe we would put in a bad performance between now and the rest of the season, yes, but to do it again, to me, was even worse. I disagree on the performance side. I don't think the performance overall was as bad as the Brighton game. You do it once, right, against Brighton. You do it once, but to do it again.
But we got outplayed the whole game.
That was dreadful.
We didn't get outplayed the whole game against Wolves.
We had 20 minutes at the beginning of the second half, which
anyway,
I knew we'd come out.
Your lineup,
and, we go to it, but the lineup.
You didn't like the lineup.
No, and the lineup to me, I mean, we're broken all over the pitch, right? And for me, at the moment, right, Gakpo surprised me that maybe he didn't start in the middle because Gakpo played. He did all right. He did all right in the last game. Looked like he could hold the ball up. Looked decent. Looks more suited there. On the left-hand side, he's still learning the team. He's still learning the roles that we play. He looks a little bit lost out there. He had a good spell second half early on. In a 4-3-3, I don't think Núñez is ready to play as a number 9 in that role. It doesn't seem to work. The ball doesn't stick with him. And Núñez is a player that is looking for balls over the top. He plays on the last man. Doesn't work in a 4-3-3. That surprised me. Salah, of course, Salah, of course he's going to start, but Salah is a player that is playing within himself at the moment. He doesn't look confident. He's not making as good of runs. His retention on the ball is not great. So I was surprised with the front three, the way Núñez and Gakpo was set up. That surprised me. The midfield, Thiago started since the World Cup every game, and brilliant player, but I felt maybe his legs, I thought he struggled a little bit, and I was surprised that he started. I thought that Henderson should have started this game. He hasn't started since the World Cup. So yeah, I was surprised a bit by that lineup, and I was not surprised I was hoping, of course, we'd win, but I'm not surprised that we lost that game with the way we're playing at the moment, with a team that looks like they don't know what the formation is, how we're attacking, how we're defending, how we're midfielding, and it was key early on when Robertson had the ball, the left-hand side, and he looks up and there's no options whatsoever. And I said this to you, I'm like, there's no one to pass, and so he just whacks it in the sky. No, it was fucking dreadful. It was an appalling performance, and to me it was worse than Brighton, and the players need to look at themselves. I mean, I could go on for ages, but carry on. Say what you're going to say.
Well, I felt like the midfield was going to select itself, in my opinion. What I don't understand really is that, like you guys have said, Gakpo has played well through the middle, while Núñez has been hurt. Bring Núñez back in, and then you take in Gakpo, who I don't think is a left winger. I don't think he has the top end pace to get around people. He's always cutting inside, and he doesn't have the acceleration like a Luis Diaz. He kind of accelerates when he cuts in, right? Where Gakpo, he cuts in and he's looking to cross. So he doesn't have that top end, what he's trying to do on the left, right? So that kind of surprised me that Gapco went to the left. Like you said, I thought Nunez would play the left, Gapco through the middle, and then Salah. But we go back to Salah not really being the Salah that we have been accustomed to as well. He's not taking people on. He's not getting behind. His touch is off.
He's missing the target over and over again.
Here's what makes this worse, right? Not only are we not playing well, but the scum, Manchester United, are looking really, really good at the moment. And we have a Man United fan over there mocking us, showing us his badge.
And the bitters one
so
today,
it's a terrible day.
Arsenal, so yeah, it's terrible all around.
But no, let's not underplay this. We were pathetic. Yeah. We were dreadful. And I also hated the fact that after that first half performance, the second half, it was expected, we're going to come out, we're going to push them. And we did that, and that pissed me off even more. Because we should be starting the game that way.
You're absolutely right. And the way we started this, the way we started the second half is the way we should play the whole game, right? But, they scored early, then they scored another one early. Let's go through the goals, Jono. You and I, we played together. We played defense together. And the way that we played defense on those two goals, either we could play for Liverpool or those guys should be playing with us. So talk us through the first goal.
The problem is you see every goal coming against us, right? So Joe Gomez gets dragged out to the left-hand side, and immediately I'm just panicking because I'm like, when is he going to get back in the middle? Robo, to be fair, kind of moves in for him.
Before you continue, once Gomez gets dragged out, right? Once he releases his player, he jogs back into position, and that pass goes right where he should be. He should have sprinted back, right?
So the whole time he's out on that wing, I'm just watching him for the next 5 seconds, and I'm like, shit, when's he getting back in the middle? And he goes kind of forward a bit and inside, and he jogs back. And then what the hell Matip is thinking when that ball goes in there too? I have no idea. He's like, he tries to play him offside, but like 3 seconds after the ball's been played. I'm like, what are you doing? It's just all too slow, it's too late. And then obviously he's just unlucky that it comes off him, but I'm like, why are you letting that drop? You have to be aggressive and clear that. And so Joe and Matip both were just shocking today. I don't think Robbo was good. He made mistakes throughout the game. Trent, again, looks like his head's in the clouds half the time. So, you were saying it with Julian, I agree with you. I don't think the overall performance for the whole team was as bad as Brighton. But I kind of take Julian's point in that given that we've already put in that performance against Brighton, it is almost worse that we did it again today.
It's worse to do it again. And the fact that team, that the only player that came out of today's game against Wolves with any little bit of credit was an 18-year-old in the middle of the pitch who worked harder and played well, did as good as he could, but he shouldn't be in that position. We should not be, and we should not be in a situation where we have an 18-year-old in that position, which is one of the most important positions on the pitch. He shouldn't be there, but he was the only one.
The whole defensive line was shocking. The whole attacking line was honestly shocking. They should have put balls in the net. They had chances. I mean, Nunez is a one-on-one, just bams it right at the keeper. The midfield I feel sorry for today. I thought they worked hard. They weren't excellent, they weren't superb, but they did their job.
And you made a great point. We didn't get beat 3-2 or 3-1. We didn't score a goal.
No.
So there has to be some culpability up front as well as the defense. And I agree with you. I think the midfield played well enough to get something out of that game. But individual mistakes. Now let's talk about the second goal.
Shocking. That's all I said.
It's shocking, right?
Carry on.
I think it was a set piece. It gets knocked to the back. Robbo kind of just nonchalantly chases the guy. And the attacker thinks he's under pressure. He turns around and there's no one within 10 yards of him inside our penalty box. So he could take 2 touches, pick out a pass. And it's just shocking defending, but shocking defending again. It really was on that play was a lack of desire again to go close space from not only Robbo but Keita as well. Didn't go close to be able to go get the ball, turn around, and not have anybody within 10 yards of you inside our penalty area. It's shocking, and that really has to be addressed about the desire of the team at that point.
And I don't know how it happens at this point with so many bad performances and so many, dressing room. They must have had all this time to talk about this stuff. How it can keep happening, I just don't understand it. It's like, and I don't know where Klopp goes from this. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think Klopp's made mistakes. We've talked about, decisions he's made and so on, but
there's a lot of things broken, right? We saw this at the beginning of the season, right? We saw, okay, something is up here, and whenever you don't have a clear directive from the top in any business, because that's what it is, it tends to fall apart as you go down, with the fact of what's going on behind the scenes, the fact of the potential sale of the club, the fact that the CEO is gone, the fact that Michael Edwards left, the fact that Julian Ward quit after 6 months, the fact we didn't have a club doctor for 6 months, which is ridiculous. Like, all of these things add up. You get to the January transfer window, it's pretty obvious we need an injection of money. Hold on. That we need an injection of money to fix this, right? You can't have what we have, where we have so many gaps all over the pitch, and you don't find a way to fix this, because it's obvious with what we have at the moment, we're struggling, and we're struggling all over the pitch. And it's hard to think, and you're going to see, hundreds of podcasts saying we should do this, we should do that, etc. But it is hard to put your finger on what can be done at the moment. So the season's pretty much gone. The season's all about the Champions League, right? So you're looking towards that. You're thinking, how do we get something out of this season, which means essentially winning the Champions League, which right now looks a million miles away from doing. But it's Liverpool. It wouldn't be a surprise if we won it. But at the same point, right now, it doesn't look likely whatsoever. But the club, the team, are a mess at the moment, and there's no two ways about it, and it's hard to say what needs to happen to fix it. Mr. Wilson.
I understand your management theory of it all starts from the top, but when you're in between the lines as a player, that FSG has nothing to do with you not closing down space. It has nothing to do with you not being able to play basic defense or running and be structured. We could have given up more goals because Matip gave the ball away in the back. Robbo gave the ball away in the back. FSG has nothing to do with those guys performing at the levels of a professional that have reached the pinnacle of their careers, and then they play like they're in rec league, dude. That has nothing to do with that between the lines.
I'm not saying it's the sole thing, but 100% it's a factor. If this was one or two individual performances that you would see week in, week out, then yeah, there's more down to that. But this isn't. This is a collective. This is the squad. There's too many players, and it started at the beginning of the season. Before Virgil was injured, Virgil was shocking. So there's way too many players that are having a bad season. There are individual mistakes, yes, that is happening, but this is a collective. This is a squad collective. This is the Klopp. This is the coaching team. And to me, it does. It comes from the top down, right? And if there is not a clear structure and there is uncertainty from the top, that feeds its way down, and it does get into the team. It is a part of it. It really is.
Okay. It's a great argument to have for another day, but so what? Oh yeah, but what epitomizes, I think, the whole collective is the third goal. We lose the ball on their side of the field, they break, and the only people that are back, Robbo chased, and he chased after the ball went over his head. He didn't even anticipate that ball going. But then Milner and Elliott. Where were our center backs? Where was Trent? Where was our other midfielder, Hendo, that just came in? Yeah, Thiago ran back. And we had four people back, and that goal shouldn't happen. But again, you look at, if you take a snapshot when that goal scored, where is everybody? Where's the desire to get back? Right? It's just not there with this team, and I don't know if you could blame that on tired legs. You can blame it on FSG because that's what everybody wants to do, but that's got to be internalized. The desire is not there from some players. I don't know why, but
I have a little sympathy with that goal because until that point in the second half, we've been pressing very high. We kept them in there, and we just, to me, that goal is more. The bigger problem of that goal is the fact that we didn't score from all that possession, all that time, all that pressure we were putting them on under, and we didn't get a goal out of that. And so you do that for long enough, you're gonna give up some space in the back. And when you don't have Virgil back there, or on his highest form, then, and you have nervous defense like we obviously have, then chances. I mean, that was literally the only chance they had the entire second half, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's in. And you just kind of knew it would happen that way, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
So where do we go from here, guys? We have Everton. We have the derby next weekend, or next Monday, right? The Monday kickoff. Yeah. They put in a performance today against Arsenal, 1-0 with the Sean Dyche, the manager bounce that you like to say. So where do we go from here? We play them at home. I know we'll do a preview show probably in midweek, but is this going to be the way we play the rest of the season, or is there anything positive from this game to move forward?
No, there's nothing fucking positive in this game. But you've got 8 days. I don't think anyone's due to be back in contention for the lineup that wasn't available today for that game. No. So
the only real changes I would say for the derby is you have to bring Henderson back. He has to come back in and start the game because this midfield 3 as a setup doesn't work. So Henderson has to come back in. Fabinho is probably out of the picture, which means Patek probably starts. He wasn't even on the bench. And we'll talk about that later. But yeah, and I think he has to. You look at the team, and a lot of it starts from the front 3, and he has to get that front 3 right because the front 3 he played today does not work. It does not work. And Nunez is number 9. Does not work at the moment. I would stick Nunez on the left because to me that is his best position for Liverpool at the moment. And he needs to go from there. Maybe play Elliott on the right, and I would still like to see Salah up front at the moment. I don't know where he's going to do it. We'll have to talk about that later. But
thank you.
He has to change. He has to change the front 3 because he's probably not going to be able to change the centre backs. I mean, he might bring Phillips in for Matip or something. But yeah, we just need to have a few drinks.
All right.
Move on from this and look forward to the derby, but it's hard. It is hard. It is hard to see what the fix is in the short term. We are having players that are slowly coming back, which will be good for the Champions League because that's our sole target now. There is nothing else. But to play well in the Champions League, you've got to start getting performances going in the league. So the quicker these players come back, the better. But the club is in a mess. No two ways about it. The club 100%. Is in a mess at the moment, and it comes from the top.
We've enjoyed so many highs in the last 5 years or so that there will be some dips, and maybe not as low as that we were like today. Losing 3-0 to a team that's in the relegation zone, but we're true Reds. We love the team. We're going to be here through thick and thin. And we move on, and we support the club, and we just, we drink our beers, cry during the week, and then we'll come back next week and hopefully get a result against Derby. Eternal optimist.
What the hell are you going on about? I think it's time to wrap this up.
Jono, any parting words of wisdom?
Wisdom, no. Come on, Scotland.
You can wrap it up.
All right. Well, cheers, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Pub Chat. I'm wearing my We Are Liverpool hat or beanie sent to me, so check out their website. Thanks to BD Riley's. Subscribe, like, get your notifications, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.